jump on, guys. If you're in a place to jump on camera, there's just so much more that you can get out of it. For one, Andrew's going to bring the fire if he can see the smiles on your faces. And for two, you're going to be able to get more out of this too, because you're going to feel more present. You're going to feel like you're in the room. But yeah, let's go. Let's rock this out. Thanks for being here, Andrew. I appreciate you, brother.
Sweet. Kyle, thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be here with you guys. And like Kyle said, if I can see your face, I can give you guys more energy. So the more energy you give me, the more energy I can give you. And also, I'm going to be providing some awesome strategies to help you guys get more book calls, to grow your audience, all of that good stuff. And the shortest pencil retains more than the longest memory. So the more you can take notes on this, the more you'll retain, and the more you can put into action to drive a bigger audience, more sales, all of that good stuff. Does that sound good to you guys? Awesome.
Yeah.
We got
I'm seeing more faces. Love it, guys. Thanks for jumping on camera. I appreciate it. It's going to allow us to play full out. I'm super excited about this. So, like I said, this is Andrew Cruzy. He's one of my mentors. I was in his program, and he really helped me get to the point to where I was just cranking. I learned a lot of what I know about key performance indicators and systems from him. He had a company that he exited called, can we talk about your company? I don't know about the okay. So seven-figure CEO, or Tribe of Buyers was another name for it. And I got in on it, and I was running a small team, but I didn't have systems, and I wasn't monitoring what was going on within my business. So it was like flying an airplane without any instruments. And Andrew was really able to help me connect the dots on that, which allowed me to go from like $30,000 to $40,000 months to $100,000 months. Also, Andrew helped me through a couple different periods. One was during COVID, because that's when I was part of your program, right? It's like right around that time. And things really slowed down once COVID hit. Like once that came in, it seemed like everything just stopped. Time stopped for everybody. People were not showing up for calls. People were not buying. And I had this moment where I really started to doubt the future of my business, or if I could ever make a sale ever again. But being within Andrew's program, I saw everybody else was just still cranking. So despite my limiting beliefs, everybody around me was still having success because I was in the right room, which kept me going and kept me on my path. Another big transition point was Facebook groups. Facebook groups were always a place where I would do posts and get a ton of clients, a lot of response. But the reach of Facebook groups changed over the years, and the approach changed. People started to get really cold to anything marketing, and the reach dropped. So I really had to adapt and go more value driven, and also go get my setters to go out and hunt for their leads, meaning that they would find high level people to add as friends. They would message and give value in Messenger instead of waiting around for people to comment on their posts. And that had a major impact on my business. So it was Andrew that was able to help me transition through all of those things. But I'm just going to give you the floor, Andrew, and let you take it away.
Thank you, man. It's been so cool to see your success and see you grow, not just in business, but as a man, seeing you travel all over the country and all that stuff. It's been really cool. Sweet, guys. Thank you so much for the introduction, Kyle. And I would love to hear from you guys. Number one, where are you from? I'd love to know where people are from. And number two, why did you show up today? What stood out to you around the Messenger sales post or whatever it was that Kyle put up? I'm looking at you, Johanna. That is actually my niece's name, so it's cool to see that. And Mark and Adrian and Thomas and Peter and Ren and George. Who else? We got more people here. RS, I love all of these AI pictures. And Peter, awesome. Good to see you guys. And we got people from Indiana, Florida, Canada, California, New York City. Yes, Kyle is a super rock star. He is. Turning in from El Paso, Texas. Awesome. New Zealand. Awesome. And would love to hear from you guys why you showed up today. Either what business do you run? What are you looking to get out of this? So I can tailor this presentation towards your needs. What we're going to learn today is my favorite methodology for booking calls. because I'm a big proponent of intimacy marketing, organic marketing that actually forms a beautiful relationship before you actually enroll somebody into your programs or your services so they become a better client or whatever you're selling. This will work for absolutely anything that you're selling. Into digital marketing right now, awesome. Teenage confidence coach, that is much needed, Adrian. Thank you, man. Just want to see what else can do with the business. Real estate investors, perfect. Some of these strategies will be awesome for reaching out and forming connections with new people. And in finance, Kevin, I love it. Cool. Is perfect. And human design teacher, I love that. I'm a projector, Nora. If you guys know your human design, put it down there too. So to give you guys a little background and some context, I started with an agency in 2017, built that to multiple six figures, and then I went into the coaching space. And I hired a coach, $10,000, which I didn't have at the time. And he taught me how to grow a Facebook group. And then I became the lamest type of famous you can get, which was Facebook group famous. We grew that Facebook group to 24,000 members. I sold it and then actually got it back 2 weeks ago. So now I'm the owner of that Facebook group and I'm kind of growing it again. And over that time, I built multiple programs, multiple courses, and we were able to scale it to multiple seven figures. And we were profiting a lot, about 40 to 50%, which was amazing. But I kind of burnt out really freaking hard in 2021. Just because I didn't have the right systems in place and I wasn't aligned with my offer. So I sold that, which was awesome, took a year off and really found myself again, my values, my vision, my beliefs, dialed in my energy rituals so I could revamp my biochemistry and my psychology and all of that, and have learned a lot on that side. So now I run a brotherhood and a sisterhood and a mastermind program called Masters of Fate Brotherhood, Empower Her Sisterhood, and then the Masters of Business Mastermind. And I'm way more lit up around this stuff because we go deep into the energy side, the self-mastery side, time design, all of that good stuff to show up at our best and fulfill our truest visions. So it's pretty cool. Oh, you're a projector too, Kyle?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the exact time of my birth. Me and Nora were kind of going around. I'm like, I think it was around this time. She's like, if you are at that time, you're a projector. So that is cool. That's neat.
Cool.
I have to find out for sure what my birth time was, though.
Leading tribes. I love it. Cool. And along the way, we've worked with over 3,000 clients. We've helped over 1,000 scale past six figures in their business, over 100 scale past seven figures, including people like Cole Gordon, who got started in seven-figure CEO, now runs a $30 million sales agency, worked with Eli Wild, who's Tony Robbins' number one salesperson. And he actually just joined Masters of Business, really awesome guy. Bastion Slot, who's doing about 20K per month and now runs an 8-figure coaching business. Jen Stacy Conkey, that didn't even know anything about the online space, and they went from 0 to 200K per month in 10 months. And a lot of it, they're awesome. And they're in the real estate space as well. And what it really comes down to is intimacy marketing and growing our communities and also our personal profiles and doing the messenger strategies that I'm about to teach you here. So does that sound good to you guys? Ready to rock it out? Okay, awesome. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat. Some of them I'll answer right away. Some of them I'll wait until the end. And also I'm going to drop a link for our community that goes a little bit deeper into these methodologies. If you guys want to hop in there, it's totally free. It's called the 7-Figure Entrepreneur. We've got a bunch of free courses in there. So you got that link to kind of support what you're about to learn here. Cool. So, Kyle, if I can share my screen, that would be awesome.
Yeah, let me make you host 1 sec.
Cool. Awesome. Nora, Kevin, thanks for being here. Thomas, appreciate you guys. And let's get into it. Cool. So here's a community I just sent you, but what we're going to jump into is the Messenger Sales Masterclass right here for you. And I'll shoot Kyle over the slides if you want to go back to any of this, no problem. I'll send it over to him after this presentation. So let's get into it. How many of you guys have thought this? How do I initiate a conversation in Messenger without coming off pushy or needy? I wish I had a behind the scenes view of how deals are being closed inside Messenger so I could have the same for my business. How do I ask for a sales call or close a deal in Messenger? And I wish I just had a game plan to turn conversations into deals whenever I want. Have any of you guys thought that? Anybody? Raise your hands here. Johanna, yes. Suzanne, Nora, love it. Engagement, participation, this is amazing. Okay, so it's not your fault. You've taken a lot of sales training, but no one has taken you by the hand, showing you how to get results on your end. You've got a business that can change people's lives, but no one's actually showing you how to convert those into leads. Everyone is just bragging instead of solving your problems, and you're losing out on the opportunity to build the business of your dreams, and nobody is giving you a blueprint on what to do and how to do it so you can build that business that you want and truly thrive in life. But what if you could say, I know the exact process, how to attract my ideal clients to me, and how to start building my endless pipeline of buyers. I know exactly how where I'm at in a sales conversation at every moment, and I know exactly how to respond to close a deal. I have the exact scripts to move somebody from interested to buyer. Would that help you land more clients and be more confident? Put a 1 in the chat if yes, put a 2 in the chat if you hate my face and never want to come to a presentation again. Okay, we got all ones. This is great. Ren, Suzanne, Larry, Joanna, I love it. Adrian, sweet. So let's get into it. This is the Messenger Sales Masterclass. And today we are going to show you live examples of real conversations of leading people to sales calls and close deals in Messenger. The easy way to attract your ideal client, initiate the conversation in Messenger, and take it from rapport to close without coming off salesy or pushy, and provide you with real scripts that show you that this is a thing, and how to build out your own CRM and keep track of conversations so that you never miss a sale again. Cool, awesome, sweet, excited? You guys, Suzanne is stoked. Let's go. I love it. So I went into my background a little bit, but this is kind of where I got my start with my personal profile, my Facebook groups, Messenger, all that. I've generated over $3 million from Messenger alone, and it's been pretty cool. And it does not come off salesy, needy, or pushy, and all that good stuff. So we can skip that stuff. This shit works. We have a crap ton of testimonials. If you want to check those out, those are on our website. But let's get into the mindset and approaches. So what we're going to go over here is the mindset of Messenger sales, the what versus how coaching. You can say this is a little bit of the mindset, the always and nevers of Messenger. Make it easy for them to buy, and attraction marketing versus cold outreach. And side note here, don't do cold outreach. Create a community, a space for people to come into so they're warm and they're hot and they're ready to buy. When people talk about cold email and all that stuff, who likes to get a random cold message from somebody you've never connected with before? Anybody that says buy my stuff? Nobody. Okay, don't do it. Sweet. So let's go into the mindset first. And I was at an event. I love going to events. I was at Congruent Coach Live with Alex Moscow here back in 2018. And he said something really profound on stage. And he brought up the mindset of sales in general. And this applies to messenger sales, prospecting, conversational sales. If you can just install this mindset when you're talking to somebody, it's so much powerful how your energy comes through when you're connecting with them. And simply, I think I can help you with this. I don't know, but I think I can. Are you open to exploring that? So what this means is not being too pushy and not being too passive. It's kind of a back and forth of, I think I can help you with this. I don't know. I think I can. Are you open to exploring that? Right? So when you're prospecting, when you're talking to prospects or opening up a new possibility in a relationship is a really powerful mindset to install, where it's like, I think, maybe, are you open to exploring it? Are you open to the possibilities? So just taking that mindset into your prospecting conversations or any type of relationship is super duper powerful. Does that make sense? You guys with me on the mindset? Okay, awesome. Love it. So, super important. How many of you guys have been in this situation? You're on a sales call or you're prospecting, and then you just dive into coaching and trying to fix the problems on the sales call or while you're prospecting. I still do that from time to time. It's like an innate need as a human being to help, right? But what we want to reserve and hold back is that really when we're in a prospecting conversation or a sales conversation is hold that feeling back. Because what we're looking to do is provide somebody with the surgery that they need, not just the Band-Aid, the fix. So when they join our incredible services or programs in the prospecting or in the sales, what we want to do is nail down their problems, their challenges, what they're currently experiencing, and be an advisor on their vision, ultimately where they want to go, what they want to achieve. If we just focus on those two polarities and not dive into fixing the problem right then and there, people are much more likely to pay you money for your services. Does that make sense? Cool. So the what coaching is, how's business going? What are some of the challenges? What have you done to try to solve it? Why is that working? Why is that not working? How important is it for you to solve this thing, right? Some of the what coaching that we go into in sales and in prospecting. Where a lot of people screw up is going into the how coaching. Let me fix this problem for you right now. Oh, you're struggling with generating leads? Okay, I can show you exactly how to do that right now. Blah, 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 right? Does that make sense? So when you're in prospecting conversations or a sales conversation, put on your what coaching hat, not your how coaching hat. Cool? Does that make sense? Okay. Awesome. Really valuable in any type of relationship you go into. People are different. This is a really powerful quote that I live by now. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Meaning, you shouldn't sell everyone into your services or program.
I got to say that made a huge difference for me, Andrew. That's something that I live by to this day. And I even tell my clients, and it made a massive difference on my retention rate, but also on my tribe. Like they were able to mesh so much better and just create a group of wonderful people when I got more selective like that. So that's important, guys. Take that down. Take that note.
I love it. Thanks, Kyle. And how many of us have been in this situation where in prospecting or sales, it feels like we're trying to push a square object through a round hole, and we keep pushing and we keep pushing, and then we finally got it through. This is amazing. And then we work with them and we're like, oh crap, you know? So it's hard to live by, especially when we're in the beginning stages of business and we want to just get that deal across and all of that stuff. Work on not doing that. And if another really valuable quote that I live by, one of my relationship principles is if I'm saying yes to this, what am I saying no to? So if I'm saying yes to this person, who am I saying no to? And all the clients I currently have and serving them, all of that stuff. Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? Cool, awesome. So we'll take a little break for some takeaways. Just pop them into the chat. What's one thing that stood out to you so far in the first, 15 minutes of going through this? And then I have some more gold for you. So if we can pop that into the chat. Peter, 100%, love it. Adrian, excited. RS, yes. Nora, love it. Finding the sweet spot between being active and passive in sales. Yes. On, off, perfect. Can't wait, awesome. Never push what will end up a nightmare client. 100%, we've all been there. I need to approach this with a system, 100%, right? You don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems in business, right? And in ourselves, we fall to the level of our habits, right? So if we can build better systems in business, and we can build better habits within ourselves, we just become the ultimate human being. We're just working on that stuff. Let's get one more takeaway from you guys. Give me 1 second. I gotta take care of this.
You guys loving it? Is this good stuff or not? You guys getting something out of it? Make sure you're taking notes. Make sure you're writing in your calendar when to implement stuff. I'm going to tell you guys a little hack that I do while Andrew's off for a second. A hack that I do when I'm on things like this to make sure that I'm not just consuming and getting entertained without any return on investment for my time. Make sure that you block out time in your calendar with specific things that you can do, things that you can implement from this training. Block time out on your calendar to actually put that to work. And if it's a habit that you need to instill, make it a recurring task. Andrew's back. Let's rock.
I love it. Thank you for mentioning that, dude. And done is better than perfect. We're going to screw up. That's totally okay. Put things into action so you can collect the data points and create the system out of the data points. Where people screw up is they don't take imperfect action, and then they don't have any data points to build the system. So thanks for mentioning that, Kyle. So let's get into this, back into messaging, the always and nevers of prospecting. So where I say always agree, there's kind of a caveat to that with the always. So challenging people is actually really powerful if it's coming from a genuine place when you're in a sales conversation or you're in a prospecting conversation. So when I say always agree, it's appreciate their world. Always appreciate the world where they're coming from. Everybody is doing the best with the current programming that they have, and they have a reason for what they're saying and all of that, right? But challenging can be really super valuable if it's coming from the right place and not letting people sit in, sometimes we sit in our own bullshit and we need to have it called out in a loving way, right? Always take responsibility for your communication. Sometimes we screw up with our communication, and instead of ghosting the person or not saying anything at all and they get pissed off or something like that, you should get some miscommunication. You have to tell them where you're coming from, right? Always, this is really valuable. Always be specific and relevant and in the now. So what I mean by that is if you've had a previous conversation with this person on a sales call, or maybe you're going back through the text message or through Messenger, go back to the conversation, be specific to what they've talked about before. You will get far better responses from these people than just following a generic script, right? So be specific, relevant, and in the now. And then always speak to the unspoken. This is really valuable. So sometimes people just aren't, there's something underneath the conversation that you're having, but it's not actually being said. It's a lot more valuable to just bring it up from a loving place instead of like a place where you're condemning them or something like that. Coming from a loving place and actually bringing that thing up that's not actually being said, right? So speak to the unspoken, always, always, always. And where I say never pursue, I don't mean that. I mean, be independent from outcome. People can feel the energy that you're giving off, even through text message or through a sales call. So be independent from the outcome, where it doesn't matter if you get that sale. Either way, you're freaking good. And stay in that feeling in your body, in that energy in your body, and don't let it waver. If it does, do some breath work and then come back to it. Like this goes for intimate relationships as well. So if we get triggered or something like that by our partner, take a step back, do some breath work, and get back into alignment with yourself and be independent from the outcome. Like we don't want to force our objective upon people. We want to use influence and persuasion to move towards a common goal, right? Never be combative or antagonistic. This also comes back to energy. Why we get into those modes of being combative or antagonistic is always because we're not taking care of our own energy. If we can just take a step back, do some breath work, some push-ups, move the body a little bit and get back into alignment with our true selves, we won't be combative or antagonistic. And never give unsolicited offers. So ask for permission before asking for that sales call or asking for whatever it is. And we nailed it down at the beginning. None of us like to get cold marketed and, hey, here's the offer that will work great for you, whatever it is. Ask for permission. And never tell somebody they're wrong. So this goes back to appreciating their world, but also building up the skill set of influence and persuasion within ourselves is so powerful, so we can influence and persuade people to a desired outcome instead of being direct and telling them, no, I think you're wrong, right? Does that make sense? Are you guys cool with the always and nevers? Awesome. Sweet. Another thing, make it easy for them to buy. If you've spoken to the prospect and they're ready to buy, always send them over the payment link. Or if you're on the sales call, go ahead and take that payment over the phone. So make it super easy for them to buy. How many of us have lost a deal because somebody said they're in and then we kind of kicked the can down the road because we didn't get back to them right away or something like that? I should see everybody's hands. Okay, cool. We've all been there. So make sure you got your links for them to buy. Make sure it's super easy to put in their credit card or whatever it is. And make sure you have those links and send it over right when they say, I'm in, right? Okay, cool. Is this making sense? Are you with me? And Lisa, it is so freaking good to see you. Thank you for being here. We just saw each other at Worries of Wealth Con 2. That was fun. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I think Kyle talks about this a lot, but it's super important. Use attraction marketing versus cold marketing. If you don't have a team, stop doing anything cold. What we want to do is bring people into our world and warm them up with content where they get to a point where they're reaching out and asking us to have a conversation. And we can reach out and start a conversation, book a call as well. But I see people waste years and years and years and years with cold email, cold calling, and just it kills their insides because they're constantly getting rejected. But I'm going to show you a method for easy attraction marketing to get that going for yourself. Does that sound good to you guys? Okay, awesome. So I always start with my personal profile. This is where I first started growing my audience, was on my Facebook personal profile. I've made over $3 million between my profile and Messenger, these two things combined. And this is the super easy setup that you can put up on your personal profile right now. So in your banner, you can ask a really simple question towards the desired result of your offer. So what I was doing back here, back in the day, I said, want to learn how to make an additional $25,000 per month without spending $1 on ads using a Facebook group. Cool, of course, they're going to want that. That sounds freaking amazing. So putting a really simple question, and then you can direct them either to a landing page or to another community that you have, whether that's on school or Facebook or whatever it is. So have a call to action in there. I had a call to action in my bio. You will also see a call to action on my personal profile right now, leading to my 7-figure entrepreneur group, right? And then explain what you do in the bio. I help blank with blank by blank, whatever it is. You can get, you can have a little bit of fun with this. Inside of my personal profile right now, I think I say like stop the hustle, start the systems or something like that. So you can have a little bit of fun with this as well. But think of your personal profile as a marketing asset. So I learned this from Frank Kern. Frank Kern, his name slipped my mind right now, but Frank Kern, really awesome marketer. And I bought his course the other day, and he was talking about the mindset of an internet marketer compared to a mindset of a billionaire. And the internet marketer thinks about like quick launches, quick money, all of that stuff. What a billionaire thinks about is, how do I create and leverage assets, right? How do I create an asset so it makes more money, more money, more money? And what I want you guys to do is think about your social medias as an asset and growing it and leveraging it to make more money, more money, more money for your business, right? If you truly believe in your offers, this is a great place to start. So with the personal profile, I think of it as an asset. I want to get as many friends and followers onto my personal profile, nurture them with content, and then book in a call at a certain point, right? Does that make sense? Cool. Awesome. So attraction marketing content, you guys will have these slides, so you can definitely go back to them. I used to post in Facebook groups back in the day. This is how I initially started getting eyeballs on my stuff. Show up where your ideal clients are at. And if you just focus on this for 6 months, you will grow your audience and you will not have to worry about a lead ever again. They will be on your personal profile or they'll be on another asset and you'll be able to book calls. So there are different ways to do it, but here I recommend Facebook groups. And I would post in them and ask a question, and then I would add them as friends, and then they would be on my personal profile. In terms of marketing, what we're looking to do is take traffic that we don't own and turn it into traffic that we do own. Traffic that we do own are people that we can market to over and over and over without having to pay for them, right? And the easiest way to do it is on Facebook. You can just send the friend request button and then somebody accepts it and then they're lead, right? On Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, you got to create viral content, be super charismatic, super engaging, and hope somebody hits subscribe, right? On Facebook, you can just click the friend request button and then they're lead. It's awesome. So here's some examples of posts that I put in other Facebook groups. And I have more trainings on this inside of the 7-Figure Entrepreneur community if you want to check that out. But that's there for an example. And then attraction marketing, 6 profile posts that attract your ideal client. So here's some examples of posts I put on my own personal profile as well. And what we're doing inside of marketing as a sidebar. I'd love to hear from you guys. What is the #1 driver of behavior? Put some things in the chat. I think this could be super powerful. You guys, curiosity, that's good. Curiosity is the energy of creation, but not the #1 driver of behavior. Cool. Let's get a couple more guesses. What is the #1 driver of behavior? Lisa, needs. A little bit, it's in alignment. Fear. For some people, yes, 100%. Pain points. Ren, close. We're getting close. Okay, I love it. And Larry got it. The #1 driver is identity. If we say, I am this, then we're gonna and it's installed in us. If I say I am if we just say it, it doesn't make it true, but that's where it starts with a new identity. So if we wanna be freaking ripped and we wanna be super fit, we can say, I am an athlete. And then we take the behaviors in alignment with being an athlete and going to the gym and all of that. And then it becomes a part of our identity when we start to collect information from the environment telling us that is it, right? Identity is the #1 driver of behavior. And so if we take it back one step and we're looking for people to buy our services or offers, then we need to shift and change their identity. And what is identity created around? It's created around beliefs. So what we're actually doing in our marketing content is shifting and changing people's beliefs to change their identity to tap into the buying behavior and into the buying pocket. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, cool. So if somebody says, I don't have enough money, I don't have time, all of that stuff, what are we going to create content around? Shifting the belief that they have enough money, they have enough time, bringing up other client stories, whatever it is, we're shifting and changing that belief through stories, analogies, metaphors, quotes, data, statistics, micro hooks, all of that stuff. So those are just some elements of shifting and changing somebody's belief, right? Does that make sense? Kind of creepy, kind of cool. Okay, awesome. Cool, so that was a little sidebar. So let's get into this. A little breakdown, make it super easy for you guys. Different price points call for different tactics in Messenger. So if you're selling something from $0 to $150, just make it super easy for them to buy and just provide the link to actually buying it. And I'll be providing some examples right here pretty soon. Anything $150 to $600, having a simple testimonial page with a purchase link or a little VSL or something like that will work fine. You don't need to hop on a sales call for that. $600 to $2,000, going into these prospecting flows that I'm about to show you, and having a VSL or webinar or sales page to support, you can do those things without a sales call. $2,000 to $10,000, you're going to want to have a sales call, whether that's 30 to 60 minutes. And then $10,000 and up, I said 60 to 120 minutes. They're all the same sales call. So $2,000 and up, have a sales call for it. Does that make sense? Cool. So on the low ticket, 0 to 600, here's an example of what I'll send over. We do $97 master classes that we sell. This is the message that we send. So we say their name, the main benefit, satisfaction guaranteed, refund policy, limited time, limit amount or /time, scarcity, urgency, and then the payment link, right? So with the satisfaction guaranteed refund policy, I've sold over $150,000 of $97 master classes, and we haven't gotten one refund. So that's pretty cool. So don't worry about saying satisfaction guaranteed, 14-day refund policy, whatever it is. Barely anybody refunds. So super easy, short message. You make a post. This is a thing that I'm selling. Then you send them over one message. This was just a PayFunnels link or a Stripe link. Boom, they bought, they're good. Cool, makes sense? Okay, awesome. Do we have more on that? Okay, yeah, I think that's what I want to show. Cool. So the 5 steps, actually, let's take a pause here. What are you gathering? Because I don't even know what I said for the past 20 minutes. So if you guys can share with me what I said, and if I said anything smart, I would love to know.
I love how you get the flow state, man. You just go, you flow. My favorite thing, and I suggest everybody drop it into the comments what your biggest takeaway was. For me, it had to do with perceptions, the I am statement, or even the opposite end of that, the duality, I am not. And if you can start to shift perspectives and start to shift identities, then not only are you going to be able to increase conversions, but you're going to help people make profound shifts in their life. It's something that's going to be very good for them, and you might help them get past blocks that they've had for years just by shifting that identity to I am or I am not. Good stuff.
I love it. Sweet. I love it. Thanks, Kyle. And yeah, with the beliefs and the identity within ourselves, what are the I am statements that we can install into ourselves to drive our identity, drive our behavior? And then it's just about collecting proof in the environment where that becomes our identity. But it always starts with a belief, an idea, right? Okay, cool. And yeah, guys, I truly don't remember over the past 20 minutes. So if you guys can pop in the chat, what was your number one takeaway so far? And Suzanne, question on the one message, close, satisfaction guaranteed, the only thing you put in the message, or do you explain what the guarantee is? Yes, so I usually say 14-day refund policy on it. So you guys can take this, ask for a refund if you hate it, and you'll get it. Cool, that's what I said. So you've got the exact examples right there, and I will be sharing these slides with you guys. So you got that. Cool, I love it. For me, it was the last message, one tip, awesome. Facebook profile marketing asset, never looked at it like that way before. Awesome, it would change your life. That's great. Cool, sweet, love it, guys. Let's get back into it with the 5-step messenger to call or close sequence. So going over asking for permissions in the PMs, initiating the conversation, extracting problems and challenges, transitioning to a sales call. And this is huge. If you guys aren't double confirming appointments, it will increase your show up rate about 10 to 20%. So we're going to go exactly into that. The objective is a strategy call or a sales call. Don't BS around inside of Messenger or inside of prospecting. So you can use this in Messenger, you can use this in Instagram DMs, you can use this in LinkedIn, you can use this in your CRM, whatever it is, these strategies apply. So asking for permission. We used to do this a lot back in the day. We don't do it as much anymore, but it used to increase the actual response rate inside of Messenger. So when we would make a post and somebody would comment back, we would say, do I have your permission to PM you personally? Now, a lot of people have used this over the past 4 years since I presented it the first time. So the response rates are a little bit lower, but it still works well. Do I have your permission to PM you personally? And then you increase the response rate when you're actually in Messenger with them. So initiating the conversation here. So relate your first message back to the post that they interacted with, and then ask them a question. So don't just pop into Messenger and like say a random thing. Relate it back to the post they actually came from. So you have an example right here. So thanks for wanting to be part of the mission, Jay. Where's your business currently at, and where are you planning on going this year? I want to make sure that our goals align and that I can help you. Cool. I related it back to the post, which I made a mission post on Facebook. And then I asked her a few questions, and I gave her a reason why I'm asking these questions. Where is your business currently at, and where are you planning on going this year? I want to make sure that our goals align and that I can help you, right? This was direct to an offer post. So that's why I'm so direct in my messaging here. I'm not BSing around in here. Cool. So another example, I'm glad you found a lot of value out of the Facebook Live training. What do you sell, by the way? So if they're interacting a lot on our personal profile, we can be more direct with them inside of Messenger as well. So it's a nuanced thing, but done is better than perfect. And implementing these things, you're going to start learning the nuances. So cool. Makes sense with me on initiating the conversation? Perfect. Sweet. So then extracting problems and challenges. I'm sure everybody here, or just about everybody, has been on a sales call. It's very similar to a sales call. We want to understand where are they currently at? What are the problems and challenges? Where do they ultimately want to go? What's their vision? What are their goals? And then we can just introduce a call, a sales call, whatever it is, a triage call, a connection call, whatever it is. So examples. Where's your business currently at, and where are you planning on going this year? I want to make sure that our goals align and that I can help you. What's the motivation to scale your business in this way? What's the one challenge I can solve for you right now with scalability and to help you make more sales, right? Just some examples there, but just think, where are they currently at, their problems, their challenges, and where do they want to go, right? And then us and our offers are the gap between those two things. Hey, let's explore it. I don't know if I can help you. I think I can. Are you open to exploring the possibilities? Right? Same thing every single time. Mindset. All right. Here's some examples of extracting the problems and challenges right here. As you can see, I'm very short. So I always be leading in prospecting or in sales. When they take the driver's seat, it usually doesn't go where we want it to go, right? And that's why learning influence and persuasion is so powerful as a skill set for our entire life. And I don't like to have more of a written response to them. And I don't like to use emojis if they're not using emojis, and I want to follow their pacing, right? Does that make sense? Cool. It's kind of like when we meet somebody in person and they're all like so much energy and being really buddy, and we're like, whoa, and kind of take a step back, like, oh, that's too much, right? We want to be like one level, one notch below them, and then just follow their pacing with emojis, with exclamation points, that sort of stuff, length of messages, and then we start to sync up into a rhythm together. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Sweet. Then transitioning into the sale. I want to make this super easy for you guys. Just ask. There's a direct correlation to how much we ask for the sale or ask for the sales call and how much money we make, right? There's a direct correlation there, right? So make it really simple and ask for more sales calls. If you take anything away from this, just take that away. Cool. So here's an example. It might make more sense to hop on a 30-minute strategy call. To be honest and direct, if it sounds like we're a good fit and I know I can help you scale your business or whatever you're offering, I'll offer you a program on the call, only if it makes sense. Are you open for that? Cool. So pretty simple. Let's hop on a call, see if it makes sense. If not, totally cool. Sweet. And there are different ways to say this, but this is just version 1 that you can use. Right? Does that make sense? Easy? Cool. Now this is really powerful. If you guys are booking calls, whether that's in a funnel or anywhere, always double confirm the appointment. It will increase your show up rate. So whether you're booking a sales call on a funnel, you can have a checkbox and ask them, is there any reason why you might have to reschedule this call? And then with human behavior, if somebody checks that box and then they're thinking, oh, I really want to cancel this call, and it's 10 minutes out from the call, and then they remember, oh, I checked that box, I said I wouldn't cancel, they're much more likely to actually show up to that call, right? So inside of Messenger, you can do the same thing. Awesome. Just out of curiosity, is there any reason why that time wouldn't work for you or you would need to reschedule? No, cool, I'm good. Much more likely to show up. It's just human behavior. We're double confirming the appointment after they say yes, right? Does that make sense? Okay, cool, love it. So this is some gold. The only 5 types of messages you'll ever get. Number 1, silence. Number 2, short. Number 3, improper expectations. Number 4, objections and questions. Number 5, positive responses. Cool. So let's get into that. Silence. So if anybody is just being silent or they're ghosting you, you can say these things. Just want to pop this back to the top of your inbox, smiley face. Send them a funny GIF. Check their personal profile and engage with some of their content. Interact with their personal profile. Double down on social proof on your own personal profile. It's crazy when I just post testimonials and people that I'm working with and all of that stuff, how some of those ghosting conversations come back and be like, oh, I actually do want to book a call, right? So if somebody's going silent on you or ghosting you, these are some great examples of what you can do. Cool?
That's fire. And it works the other way too, doesn't it? When reaching higher up, when people with bigger audiences than you want to warm them up before you reach out. You're engaging on their stuff beforehand.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of like going in the back door, where when you're posting your own stuff on your own personal profile and all of that stuff, and then people see that, they're going to come back into the conversation with you. It's super valuable, right? So here's an example inside of Messenger. Just want to pop this up to the top of your inbox. When people are ghosting and being silent with us, what do I want to say here? It's not because of us. We can't take it on because of us. My relationship to that now is just like, meh, they're probably busy. And when we can install that mindset when somebody doesn't respond to us and not take it personally, and we just say, meh, they're probably busy, then we come from a much more logical approach inside of the relationship. And we can just say, hey, just bump this to the top of your inbox. This guy responded and then booked in a call. So then short. If somebody is being very short, this is super valuable. We always want to be leading. We don't want to be chasing inside of prospecting or sales conversations, right? So ask the prospect at least 3 questions before moving on. Just ping it, test it out. And if they're continuing to be short and undescriptive, boom, take it off the table. You don't need to force it, anything like that. You can just say, I appreciate your openness, Jay. Based on what you've said, I think these free resources will really help with X challenge that you were talking about. Are you open to me following up next week on how everything's going? Cool. So if they're being super short, take a step back, provide them a free resource, and then just check back in within a week. And then the conversation will be so much warmer. Is this helpful? Does that make sense? Cool. Awesome. Sweet. So improper expectations, challenge/qualify. Many times these people aren't the right fit for your program or service. However, they reached out, so you know they have a problem. Your objective is to change their expectations, qualify them, then lead them to a closed call. So for example, if people are like, how much do you charge? Or like, how much is this thing? Hey, Jake, great question. There are different options I have based on what's going on with your goals. Can you start by letting me know what has made you reach out to me in the first place? Cool. Something easy. So if there are just improper expectations, or like they're asking how much does this actually cost, then we just want to go a little bit deeper and ask a question, right? Go a little bit deeper, get the problems, get the challenges, get the vision, ask the question, and then you can put the price on the table once you nail it down that you're a good fit together, right? Cool. So here's an example, handling, objections and questions. Handle the objections and questions, usually using voice message works best, and then ask a problem/challenge question. We don't want to just answer their question. We want to move it to the direction of where we ultimately want to take it, right? So what's the easiest way to change the direction of somebody's mind? It's by asking a question, right? So we want to answer their question and then ask them a question back, especially if it's in flow with the conversation. So cool, this is the answer, but what about this? And then boom, change their mind towards the objective that we're going for, that book call or that sale. So what are your current challenges, problems? What's your vision? What are your goals? You can use a softener if you don't mind me asking. So that's another softener, a little nuance. So just some examples right there. Positive, super huge. If people are being super positive, you've gone through the prospecting experience, invite them to a call, invite them to a call. There might be some people that you're talking to right now that have been interacting with you super positively. Invite them to a call right now. Cool? Invite them to a call or the sale, whatever it is. So if they're being super positive, you've nailed down challenges, where they ultimately want to go, invite them to a call. So it might make more sense to hop on a 30-minute strategy call. To be honest and direct, if it sounds like we're a good fit and I know it can help you scale your business, I'll offer you a program on the call. Only if it makes sense. Are you open for that? Cool? Makes sense? Those are the only 5 messages you'll ever get. Little bonus, flirting in Messenger. Really good line that I love using here. And I just presented this to the brothers the other week. And we had Jamie reach out to some of his clients. He closed 2 deals just from using, hey, I was just thinking of you. Boom. I was just thinking of you. And then go into what you actually want to say, right? Really good line right there. Was just thinking of you. Boom. Continue on the conversation, right? Cool. Does that make sense? Sweet. So we talked about the CRM system. I actually don't use the CRM system anymore. Boom. What I do use is Airtable. So inside of the 7-figure entrepreneur right here, there is a training under the Systemize Past 7 Figures right here under the systems. And here's the CRM system that I use. So we don't have enough time on this call to go over the CRM system for prospecting, but you guys have that in the 7-figure entrepreneur community under the CRM system. Cool? Does that make sense? All right, and I'll grab this link for you so you guys can get that immediately. Boom, love it. Cool. So that's about it for the Messenger Sales Masterclass. So to recap with you guys what we went over today, boom, we went over a lot. Oh my God, my brain, I don't even remember what I was talking about. We went over the mindset and approaches. I think I can help you with this. I don't know, but I think I can. Are you open to exploring it? The what versus how coaching. People are different. You don't need to sell everybody into your programs. The always and nevers of prospecting. If they want to buy, make it easy for them to just get the link. We talked about the attraction marketing profile. We talked about the content to actually post on that. And we also talked about different price points deserve different strategies. We talked about the 5-step messenger to call or close sequence right there, exactly what to do with those exact messages and examples, and also the only 5 types of messages that you will ever get inside of Messenger, and we broke that down. And as a bonus, you've got the CRM system inside of the community right there. Cool, sweet. So the other thing I want to mention, 95% of people that come to these presentations don't actually jump on it and go get it and actually implement this stuff. If you guys want to make sure you actually put it into action and make sure you have a solid roadmap to scale your business, we have a few spots for 7-figure scaling strategy sessions open right now, which will either be with me or Larry, where we'll build out an exact roadmap for you guys to scale your business past 7 figures based on the 3,000 people that we've worked with. And if you choose to do it on your own, you can take that roadmap and do it on your own. Or if you choose to do it with us, then we'll share with you a little bit more of what we have to offer and all of that good stuff. So that opportunity is right here under the 7-figure scaling strategy sessions. If you want to build out a roadmap together, I've got that right in there for you, and I'll pop it into the chat. So we've got a few spots left for that. I just popped it in the chat if you want to build out that roadmap together, and we will get that going. And also, I will send over Kyle the slides here, so you guys will get access to all of these slides as well. Cool.
Such insane value. And yes, I will get the replay out to you guys. All you guys will have the replay of this. And it's going to be a limited amount of time that you have access to the replay. So once you get it, make sure you use it, make sure you leverage it and utilize it, because it will not be forever access, but we'll get you the slides too. That way you guys have access to all of that. And as far as the strategy sessions with Andrew, I'll tell you what, guys, it's worth it. It's not just fluff. A lot of people, they kind of shy away from strategy sessions. You want to be on this. When you get on with Andrew or one of his people, they're going to rock your world in a short amount of time. And if you like this is just the free stuff. You go into the strategy, you're going a little bit deeper into his funnel. And man, it's just so much better, and it's more personalized and custom fit for you. And I can tell you from having experience of working with Andrew, I was in his $25,000 mastermind a few years back. I can't even tell you how many times over I got my return on investment. Couldn't tell you. Probably just on the relationships alone, I got my ROI on that. So thanks so much, Andrew. Thanks for everything you've done for me, and thanks for what you've given to the audience here.
And I have time for Q&A if that is open. I love questions. I don't remember what I say, but I love questions. So if that's cool with you.
Let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So is there anything that came up for you guys, whether that's in business or in sales or in prospecting or even in your own personal life with energy or mindset? I love talking about all that stuff, and I'm open for any questions. I've been a coach for 7 years. I love answering these questions. So if you guys have anything, I'm here to answer it. And I'm getting some people accepted in the group. Roger, I just accepted you into the 7-figure entrepreneur group. So you are in there. And boom, drop that. Cool. So Lisa, Suzanne, Nora, what do you guys have for me?
I got a question for you, Andrew. How you doing, my friend? So great.
So good. So good.
All right. So great. Here's my issue is having the time to manage all this. And I've been using VAs to help me with engagement and content creation and stuff, but they seem to fade off. Like this last one is off, ghosting me now. You know, she's in another country and she's just like seems to have lost interest in this. I need a team of dedicated people, and I think my barrier is like, wow, where am I going to get the money to pay for all this to get this thing going? So I'm kind of in that bind, and I'd love to hear your input.
Well, thank you for asking this question, because I just created a training this week around the 7-figure team that's inside of the school community that I just shot over. And it tells you the exact times to hire and who to hire at the certain levels of business that you're at, so you retain the optimal profit margins based on the level in business. So I think that will be super helpful. In terms of implementing this, keep it really simple. In terms of social media, where I see people screw up is that they try to post on every freaking platform thinking that's the way to go. But just post on one platform and get really good with that one platform. There are two parts to it: driving traffic to people subscribing to you, and then nurturing that traffic, right? If you get really good with that on Instagram or YouTube or LinkedIn, then just own that platform first and become famous on that platform like I did on Facebook. I found Facebook to be the easiest, but my recommendation to everybody is just pick one thing and keep it really simple and just nurture the crap out of your audience. So
I love that. Okay. That simplifies it right there by 30%, 50% even. Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I booked a strategy session too, so I'll look forward to that. Thank you.
Looking forward to it, Lisa. That's awesome. Sweet. Who else?
I have a quick question, Andrew.
Yes.
How are you enjoying school for community, for running your community right now?
I love school so much. So here are the recommendations I give our clients. Know who your avatar is. And if they're a coach or an agency owner or somebody who buys a bunch of courses and that sort of stuff and might be on school already, use school as your initial community platform. If we work with a bunch of like tattoo artists and musicians, and a lot of their audience is on Facebook. So Facebook groups are better for them. The reason why I love school so much right now, I have a 24,000 person Facebook group, and then our school group is 1,700 people right now, and we just grew it by 500 people in the past month, and it's just ramping up, is because of the course structure. So what we want to do when somebody enters our community is tap into giving them an immense amount of value right off the bat. And that kicks in reciprocity that's innate in us as human beings, where they want to give back to us. They want to talk to us more. And inside of the school platform, as you'll see inside of there, it's super easy to set up the courses so that reciprocity kicks in right away. So I'll give you guys an example, and great question, Kyle. Inside of here, I'm taking people through a psychological experience to show them that the only logical answer to scaling their business is through what we have to offer. And we kick it off with a bunch of success stories right here with like Cole Gordon, Bastian Slott, Rob Quinn, a bunch of 7-8 figure earners, like talking awesome things about me. Now, there are levels to, this is kind of a side note, there are levels to testimonials. The first type of testimonial you want to get are character testimonials. If you don't have like offers yet or anything, just get people talking awesome things about you. So when I first started my first coaching business back in 2017, I hopped on 10 calls, I provided an immense amount of value for free, and then I asked them for a testimonial at the end. And then that's a big reason why I was so successful at the beginning, is because I got a bunch of testimonials right off the bat. And people need to see that for your offers. So school is really awesome with that. And then inside of the courses, I'm providing a lot of value up front with these courses, and they're super easy to go through. And I'm kind of taking people through a psychological experience. And you guys will learn about that psychological experience in the $1 Million Messaging Sequence. So there are 9 different psychological triggers that we want to take people through in a buyer's journey to move them into a buyer's state. And that video goes into exactly that, the $1 Million Messaging Sequence. So that was a long way of answering your question of that is why I love school. And the community aspect is great. So
Andrew, can I share something on that too?
Yeah.
So guys, just for context, so I actually I'm also part of the Brotherhood. I'm also my own sales coach, but also part of the Brotherhood. And one of the things that I noticed with school that's different than Facebook groups, because I've done both, I've done Facebook groups and school, is that it allows it to be a central point for all my social media platforms. So what I've noticed is with Facebook, it's the people who really love it just kind of use Facebook. And if I had tried to get people from LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram to get a Facebook groups, people who are like under like 25 or 26 didn't want to hop on a Facebook group, right? They kind of saw it as like the dinosaur playground. What I noticed with school this time around is I have a bigger following in Facebook, but I also have a Twitter following that's starting to get really engaged. And I also have an Instagram, and I also have, LinkedIn. it's a central place for all my social media platforms that everyone is like buying into. So I'm not restricted in this playground of Facebook anymore. And just like Andrew said, there's just a level of authority that is had because, different people are finding me from different places. And it allows me to then centralize my whole list for all my social media platforms and bring all my communities from those different platforms together. That's what I love about it.
I love that. And the linking to YouTube too. So if you put a YouTube link in there, inside the course, you also get a view on YouTube. So it's great for growing that. And if you guys get anything out of this part around community, it's grow your community and don't stop until you catch momentum. So whether it's on a Facebook group or a school community, a lot of people quit early on when if they just went like 2 more months, then they would have caught momentum with their community. And then you get a lot of organic leads, whether that's Facebook or with school. People will find your community when it's active and engaged organically. So we're getting about 10 leads per day inside of our school community from them going to the discovery section and finding us organically. And I don't have to pay for that. That's great. I don't have to do any paid advertising for that. And it's because I've just gotten it to a point where it's active and engaged in a decent size that people are like, oh, that community looks legit. I want to join that one. So if you start a community, an organic community, which is really powerful and also has filled me with a sense of purpose as well, when it was my Facebook group back in the day, now my school group, keep going until you get momentum with it, because then you will get a lot more organic traffic and not have to pay for those leads. So cool. Awesome. Sweet. I love this. Was there a couple more questions? I got time for a couple more questions. And everybody that requested to join the school group, I just accepted you in, so you guys have access to that, the CRM and also the messenger train, or the messaging for offer training, which is really good. Cool.
Andrew, can I ask you another question about school?
Yes.
So, we have like our business name and then we have our kind of program names. How did you select the name of your school community? Is it the 7-figure entrepreneur? Was that also your Facebook group name?
So what do my ideal clients want, right? It's to become a 7-figure entrepreneur. So that is why I named it that. The name of my programs are Masters of Fate and Masters of Business, that sort of stuff. And I'm selling them what they want and giving them in the programs, I'm giving what my clients actually need. So we kind of make it sound really sexy on the front end, but as you guys know, it's not just as easy as this, but there's also the self-work that we need to put into it. There's the energy that we got to manage. There's designing our time in our calendar. It's the mindset tricks with the I am statements, the people are statements, the life is statements, and seeing that into reality so that becomes our identity. So I sell people what they really want, which is, yes, we have done this over and over and over with people, but there's also this underbelly side that you don't see that you're going to need to put into place for yourself so you can shift and change as a human being, which isn't as sexy. Because when I was putting that out front with my marketing, not as many people were opting in all of that stuff. So it's sell people what they want, give people what they need.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Love it. Thanks, Lisa. And then Peter, I love it. Thanks for the questions, you guys.
Yeah, dude. So follow up right on what you just said. I'm all about that too, right? There's all the business systems that lead to the results, the external results people want, but the deepest work that all my clients always experience is the internal transformation. So back to that point of the identity shifting content. Do you have some more good examples? And maybe that's in the school group. I'm already in there, so I'm happy to go dig those up. But of how to create content that just hits that, right? Because I find myself in in the hamster wheel of just trying to put out a whole lot of helpful content, which we probably all know, like doesn't get the most engagement, right? Like I'm putting a lot of care into a post, writing a whole lot of stuff, and nobody reads it. But you put out a card post and it's just, hey, you want this thing? A bunch of people raise their hand, right? So do you have any pointers on just how to make more just like, I don't know, just better content that calls out the identity shift in a quick way? Yeah.
Yes, I love the question, Peter. There are two things to this. The hook is the most important thing, whether that's on your funnel or in your VSL or on content on Facebook, Instagram. So on Facebook, what are those first two lines? People are asking, like, is this for me? And what's going to stop them from scrolling? Because there's so much competition on there. So making sure your first two lines on Facebook are really powerful. And with the picture, no stock photos, just like a real picture of you, right? And then in terms of changing beliefs, this is super valuable. And I get into this a little bit more. But do you guys know Myron Golden by chance? Just, yeah, incredible public speaker. For example, he was at Funnel Hacking Live. Russell Brunson closed the room on the third day. And on the repitch, you're supposed to get about 20% of the room, or 20% of the amount that enrolled the previous day to enroll that day. And Myron got up on stage and he closed 300% the next day. Like, really freaking good.
Myron's a beast, man. He's the best there ever was.
Crazy. And I'm being mentored by Eli Wild, Eli Sanchez. I always have a mentor, I always have a coach, I always have a program that I'm in. But for mentorship, I have Eli Wild and Eli Sanchez now. And I was on a call with Eli Sanchez, and he was there at Funnel Hacking Live. He got to talk to Myron after, and he asked him, like, dude, how'd you do that? How'd you close 300% more, all that? And gave him some bullcrap answer, which was like, you got to provide value and all that stuff. And then they started talking about NLP and all this stuff. And then Myron was like, oh, he's legit. So Eli shared this with me. Myron Golden broke down the 5 points of shifting anybody's belief. So it's number one, to shift any belief, you've got to know what the belief or the concept is. So for example, maybe the belief is the only way to achieve the results that you want in life is by using the human OS, one of the systems I have, right? The concept. So then you need stories around it, because we buy emotionally, not logically. And what's the easiest way to shift and change somebody's emotions and beliefs is through story. The better storytellers we can become as well, the more dopamine somebody releases in their body. So dopamine creates motivation and focus, and it's the pursuit of pleasure molecule. So the better we get at storytelling, people are wondering what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next. And they release more dopamine, and we have more motivation and focus for somebody to listen to us. So number one is story, right? Number two is an analogy or metaphor. So it's kind of like, right? And then people can see it from a different angle and associate it with something else that they know. So it makes it more real, more tangible, right? Then we have an authoritative quote. So one of our biases is authority. That's why I'm a big proponent of school groups, Facebook groups, because people can see you're an authority when you grow it to a certain point. But in terms of shifting and changing that belief, for example, we have this thing called the 3E methodology: energize, evolve, execute. And it starts with energize. To reach our full potential, we first need to start with our energy. Because as Albert Einstein said, a problem cannot be solved in the same energy that it's created. So there I'm sharing an authoritative quote associating me with Albert Einstein around the importance of the 3E methodology, right? And then we have a data and statistics. If you guys have ever been to a Tony Robbins event, he's dropping these data and statistics all over the place. And people are 300% more likely to blah, 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 right? Because we want to be anchored in a little bit of logic when we make a decision or change our belief, right? And then lastly is what I call a microscript. There's a really good book called Microscripts, but an example of that is It's not about what people say, it's about what they repeat, right? So, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, right? It sticks in our brain and we can say it over and over and over. So, to shift that belief, it's not about what we say, it's about what they repeat. So, we want to put those micro scripts in their brain when we're shifting and changing their belief. So, there you go. As a masterclass on shifting and changing people's beliefs. And an easy way to produce content around this is after a sales call, if you get an objection, create a story post around that objection. For example, back in the end of October, I was getting a bunch of objections of like the holidays are coming up, like I don't have time, all of these things, right? So back in 2017, October, November was when I started to invest in myself, started buying a bunch of courses, coaching programs, all of that. And then I had my first $62,000 month in February of 2018. So I told that story on my personal profile. And there was one guy that I had a sales call with, gave me that objection, and then he came back and then he ended up paying. Because I shifted and changed that belief around my own story, or we can tell other clients' stories. And then it helps shift and change the belief around objections so they actually buy. So, cool. I don't know what I said. I just blacked out. Did I talk about the beliefs and stuff? Okay, cool.
Nailed it. Thank you.
Sweet. I have time for one more question. And then I'm going out with my girlfriend, so. Cool. Let's see, Ren, Nora, Adrian, Mark, Kevin, Ron, Theodore, George.
I have a question about what you were just saying about like creating a post around the projections, or what was the word?
Objections, yeah.
Yeah. So when you do that post, you share your story or somebody's story. Do you make sure that these people, like, do you send them the link to the post? Do you make sure they see it? Or is it just like, it's out there? If they see it, great. If not, it's cool, or what?
Yes. So a lot of times I don't even put the client's name in there. So you can say, I had this interaction with a client of mine, blah, 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 blah. So you don't even need to put their name in there. But as long as it's a story, all of that stuff, you're good. In terms, some clients I know just are super open with sharing wins and all of that stuff. So sometimes I will put their name in there or share a post of their win. And then there's some people that come in and be like, oh, I want to be anonymous. And cool, we respect that, all that good stuff. So cool, great question. And we've got a couple more spots for the strategy calls. So I'll drop that link in if you guys want to book that in. We got that link right there. And let's do one more question. Lisa, do you have one more? Or Peter? Or Suzanne, who's been a rock star here the whole time? You guys are action takers. You guys are go-getters. I love it. I will end it there then with that statement. So here's another little tip. There's ancient scripture that says, call things not as though they were. The two most powerful statements that we can ever say to ourselves are, I am and you are. I am is installing a belief within ourselves. You are is installing a belief into somebody else that's driving their identity. So if you think about like seeing the mom out on the streets yelling at her kids saying, you're so rambunctious or you're so crazy. She's installing that belief that they're rambunctious and crazy. So what is she going to get more of? Rambunctious and crazy kids. So where I want to leave you guys at is be very conscious around your words when you're saying I am and you are, because we're installing beliefs within to ourselves and other people that are driving their identity and their behavior. So sweet. Cool. Kyle, I want to thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for having me.
Well, thanks for bringing the fire, Andrew. You always do, man. Thanks, brother. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys playing full out. Go implement and go kill it. See you guys.
See you guys.